women in particular to sort of understand about lifting weights. You know, I can walk into any gym and I'll feel confident. Sorry, can you edit that out, please?
So today we're going to talk to Ava about females and weightlifting, but the overall subject is on females and sort of like the introduction to weightlifting. When I met you, you were just into your cardio, and then we introduced you to the weightlifting properly, and you went down that road. Now the first question I've got is what made you make the decision to actually get a PT in the first place? So if you could answer that for me, that'd be great. Just what made you make that decision to look for help?
Yeah, sure. So basically, really, the only time I sort of started doing any proper exercise at the gym was sort of when I was at uni. And I used to go with my friends. I never used to go on my own. I didn't really know what I was doing. I would just do, I don't know, 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, 20 minutes on the like the stationary exercise bike, and then maybe I'd do one of the ab machines for a bit, and maybe like one of the arm machines. I would say, looking back, it wasn't really keeping me fit as such, because I wasn't doing it consistently enough. So I did have a PT session once when I was at uni, which sort of introduced me a little bit into it. Yeah, when I came back, obviously I joined Pure Gym, not self-confident with my body at all. I felt disgusting in myself. And I originally wanted to lose weight to like tone up, as everyone says. I didn't hard about it for a while, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to invest in a PT and see like what happens, really, because I wanted to gain more confidence like with my body. I don't really think that I fully knew that what it was going to actually do to my mindset until I actually started, because I just thought, oh, I'm going to lose weight and then I'm going to be happier, like I'm going to be skinny and then I'm going to be happy. So I would say my original goal was to lose weight and tone up.
So the next point then I want to make is the difference, how you felt from being a cardio bunny to then full on lifting with barbells and dumbbells and being in the free weight area, which, let's be honest, 95% of that area is occupied by males. Once you started lifting properly and learning how to do resistance training, how your body changed and what that did to your confidence.
There's so many things I would say about, you know, how it changes your mental health, how it changes your body as well. But like when I first started doing, you know, proper learning how to do an actual deadlift, learning how to do a proper squat, and you're doing these powerful movements, it just makes you feel like an absolute badass, and it's such a good feeling. It's really addictive. And you leave the gym on such a high, because, you know, you feel like you've really accomplished something, and it's a really good feeling to do something new, to see how far you can push your body to do something, especially when you're increasing your weight each week. It just makes you feel powerful when you you know, you walk in and then you walk out and you've done like a massive session. Or, you know, my original goal was to lose weight and to tone up, but once I actually started training, my weight went up. So I started at around 55 kilograms. My weight actually went up throughout the course of a few months to 62, but actually I'd lost body fat in that time. So I was looking at, you know, a fair bit leaner than I was. And I think that really surprised me. Well, not because I didn't know about, you know, fat loss, but I just think it doesn't really occur to you, and you don't think about it really until you're doing it. It did massively change my confidence, and it's enabled me to focus, like really change my opinion on, you know, weight loss and fat loss all together. I think as well, when you're managing to go up in weight each week, or, you know, every few weeks, and you're doing more reps, it makes you feel so good about yourself as well, because you're not just sitting on your ass doing nothing, you know, you're accomplishing something.
So everything you said is amazing, and you've mentioned something there about the weight, about the body weight in kilograms, which for females in particular, every single new female client I take on, I have to have the same conversation, because for some reason has a particular figure in mind, whether it's 5 kilos or 10 kilos or 2 kilos or pounds or whatever, that they want to lose. Like, they'll come to me and they'll be like, I want to lose 5 kilos. And I look at them, I have a conversation with them, and I say, why do you want to lose 5 kilos? And it relates back to the thing that you were saying, what your initial goal was. I wanted to be skinny and look toned and all of this stuff. And when you start, your transformation picture is amazing, because it's got the weights next to it. When you started and you were just into cardio, you were in good shape. Like, you can't deny it, you were in good shape. But then as you lifted the weights, your shape was amplified more so. So your stomach was flatter, your bum was a bit bigger, etc., etc. And you look more toned. Hate that phrase, but tone meaning less fat, more muscle, so that you can see the muscle. You can't tone a muscle. That's a whole separate video. Anyway, going off track. The point is, it's that getting over that mental thing, like you said. That's basically now a skill that you've got for life. So, but now you're obviously into your fighting. So you're not. I mean, you tell me, but I don't think you're lifting as much as you were. However, those sort of staples, those fundamentals, like your strong deadlifting, your strong squatting, those kind of staples, you still do, which transfer to your fighting really well, because it all helps with that, its strength, its endurance and everything else. So that's now a skill that you've got for life. You'll always use those movements. Sometimes you'll use them less, sometimes you'll use them more. But as I say, you transfer them through to fighting, and tell us about that.
Yeah, I would literally 100% agree with that. And even now, especially really only when I talk to other women, other females, about you know, going to the gym, being healthy and that, everyone still says, I want to lose like X amount of kilograms, X amount of stone, or I want to tone my abs, or I want to, you know, have skinnier legs. But you can't pick and choose where you lose fat from. And I think that it's really important, I would say, for women in particular to sort of understand about lifting weights. And I would like highly recommend, you know, that women do see a personal trainer just to get into it, because actually you realise once you start and your confidence changes, and then you stop thinking about the weight and you start thinking about what your body can do instead, that's when you're going to love yourself more anyway. Because scales are just scales. They, you know, numbers really mean nothing to a certain degree. I think it's more about how you feel, and, you know, how your clothes, it depends really, but how your clothes are fitting you, how you're feeling, how long you're able to run, how much weight you can lift, you know, getting over injuries. Because me in particular, I suffered from a really bad back, and I had to have physio, and actually doing deadlifts and strengthening my core and my back actually really helped me as well. It helped my back pain, because once I was doing all the weightlifting and strengthening different parts of my body, the back pain was disappearing. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the weight side of things. It's not just about that. So yeah, 100% agree. With my transformation with you, it just showed me really like what I could do. Although it was great to see the transformation side, because it really massively boosted my confidence, you know. I felt so much happier in myself. It wasn't just about the aesthetic side of it. At first, yeah, that was my main aim, and it did play a massive part in making me feel so confident. But then also, it was the fact that I was lifting, you know, I was squatting my body weight, I was deadlifting over my body weight. It's just such a good feeling. But yeah, I would 100% say that you've given me that skill for life. You know, I can walk into any gym and I'll feel confident that I'll be able to pick up whatever I want and know what I'm doing. So it's such an amazing thing to have that. I love doing the staple things still. I love deadlift. I love squat. I don't really do bench press that much.
Yeah, 3.
But I love all the basics that I've been taught, and I still do use them, because obviously with fighting, because it all helps with your strength, with your explosiveness, with your speed. So yeah.
Well, you know, we both completely agree about this, and I just wish more females would understand, and I hope more females watch this video to kind of, because it is just such a mental barrier. And I always tell people that I'm a big advocate of performance-related goals, as you know, because, like you say, most people's initial goal is the aesthetics, but then they get into it and realise that actually there's all these other benefits. And then what's ironic is that the aesthetics are just a byproduct of performance-related goals. Like if you look in the mirror and go, oh, I don't like my tricep, I don't like my bingo wing, therefore I'm gonna exercise that part. That's not the way it works. And yes, you'll get some benefits and you'll get some sort of improvements aesthetically to a certain point. But if you can do something performance-related, like I can only do 5 push-ups at the moment, I want to be able to do 25 push-ups. I can't do any pull-ups, but I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups in one set. Imagine what your physique would look like if you could achieve those things. Like if you can achieve 10 pull-ups, your body has to change so that you can do that. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I just think, you know, if you're always chasing after the aesthetics, if you're always chasing, I want to lose 5 pounds, are you really ever going to be happy? Because there's no end goal. Whereas, you know, if you set yourself a realistic goal, like I want to be able to squat twice my body weight or however much, you know, once you hit that goal, you know, you can feel like it's a massive achievement. And like you said, the aesthetics side of things, it does come after. And it's almost like it's a little added bonus, like a little added extra, because you're already so happy that that you've hit a goal that you've set for yourself. I would say now, sort of going to the gym and weight training is sort of like a bit of me time. It makes me feel great after. Yeah.
Ava, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me about this. I think that a lot of young women will completely relate to everything you've just said, and those that don't relate to it because they haven't experienced that yet, I urge you to, you know, if you're unhappy with your weight or you've got some sort of like body image issue or you're self-conscious about that scale weight, try lifting, but get some help. Because what I always say to people is, like, take a deadlift for example. It's arguably the singular best exercise for overall strength, but it's probably also the easiest way to injure yourself if you don't know what you're doing. That's not me trying to flog myself, that's just general advice in life. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to talk to you as always. Can't wait to see you outside of lockdown because it's very annoying. And I will speak to you soon.
Thank you. It was really good to talk to you, Sam. Yeah, and I completely agree with what you've said. I think that weight training, definitely just see a PT. Like, you know, it's so worth the investment because you're investing in your life, really. And just give weight training a go. Makes you feel like an absolute badass. But yeah, thank you.